If I tell you that there is an agenda in full operation, and they no longer even bother to hide it. Get ready, for the coming months will be a crucial period, a time when we are closer to the return of Jesus than ever before. It's time to open our eyes and pay attention to the signs around us, as these are clear indications confirming truths written in the Bible long ago. God has a warning about 10 major events that will begin to happen in the world in the coming months. We are already in the middle of 2024, and the world has been the stage for disturbing events that challenge our understanding and resilience. We witnessed a devastating earthquake in Japan, and armed conflicts, as well as food crises, continue to unfold in various parts of the globe. These events reveal that times of relative stability are behind us, giving way to an uncertain and potentially precarious future. In today's video, we will explore a theme that transcends the boundaries of time and space: biblical prophecies. These are not mere predictions. They are statements that many believe are destined to come true, regardless of our will. Get ready as we reveal 10 biblical prophecies for 2024 that will deeply shock you and, according to sacred texts, are destined to occur. The concept of the New World Order is often discussed in religious and political contexts, with many believing it to be distant or even imaginary. However, some argue that this agenda is real and has significant impacts across various realms like law, commerce, economy, technology, activism, and philosophy. The New World Order proposal suggests a new form of international politics based on a single constitution for all countries, under the leadership of a single ruler. Many world leaders view the world as an ungoverned child that needs an adult to guide it, arguing that responsible leadership must manage everything and everyone effectively. In recent times, we have seen countries coming together more than ever, forming political and economic alliances that could eventually result in a single global government. A close example is the strengthening of the BRICS group, composed of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries are working together to grow, and their relationships are bolstered by current governments. Some members already advocate for the creation of a common currency to facilitate trade among them. These unions can be seen as paving the way for the prophecy of the apocalypse, where a leader will arise and dominate all nations. Many believe this leader will be the Antichrist. When you see countries forming alliances for growth on TV or the internet, remember this is not coincidental, but the fulfillment of biblical prophecies. God does not want you to be deceived. In the coming months, everything that happens will be interconnected. No event is isolated. Every war, every alliance, and every disagreement is part of the divine prophetic plan. Jesus spoke about this while on earth. Whenever you encounter a world event while watching the news, question how it connects to what the Bible predicted. Another important point is technological advancement. The book of Revelation mentions that everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, will receive a mark on their right hand or forehead, without which they cannot buy or sell. This refers to technological advancements such as artificial intelligences being developed and continuing to evolve rapidly. Technologies like systems monitoring all our daily activities, including financial transactions that allow bill payments and shopping without physical money, are already in operation. These technologies indicate that there is already an infrastructure of power, control, and surveillance prepared for a world leader to take global financial control, as described in Revelation. In the coming months, we can expect the introduction of digital currencies by governments, promising benefits in terms of transaction security and traceability. This transition to digital money is not just a matter of efficiency, but a reflection of a global movement towards unification, where a unified digital currency could facilitate the leader's control over global trade. Furthermore, artificial intelligence is a rapidly developing field. Researchers at the Future of Humanity Institute at the University of Oxford plan to create superintelligences with the potential to dominate the world and wage wars. This could be used by someone aiming to rule the world at any cost, such as the Antichrist. The third prophecy we need to address is apostasy, or the abandonment of faith. The Bible mentions a great departure from God's teachings, something we are witnessing today. Many people who claim to be Christians and dedicated to Jesus are falling away as if they had never known him. Churches are becoming increasingly permissive, adopting practices that contradict their original doctrines, leading many believers to leave the churches. We are facing challenging times where prophecies are being fulfilled, but many do not realize what is happening around the world. Therefore, it is important to be vigilant to the signs and understand how they fit into the divine prophetic plan. Firstly, let's talk about the growing tension between China and the United States, a relationship that is on the verge of breaking due to Taiwan. The island, living under constant threat of Chinese aggression, faces an increasingly challenging scenario. This year seems particularly dire for Taiwan, with China escalating its aggressive stance in the region. In response, Taiwanese efforts to better protect their country are intensifying. The year 2024 marks a critical point in this dispute, with Taiwan planning to spend a record amount of about $19 billion on defense. Additionally, military service is being extended, further bolstering the island's defense capabilities. In a New Year's speech, Chinese leader Xi Jinping reiterated the Communist Party's threat to take control of Taiwan, even though China has never governed the region. The Pentagon has also issued concerning alerts. China is building its nuclear weapons arsenal at a faster pace than anticipated, suggesting it may be planning for mass destruction capabilities. These actions and statements contribute to an atmosphere of uncertainty and tension, with the potential to destabilize not only the region, but the entire world. As we follow these developments, it is impossible not to reflect on the implications of such movements on the global stage and how they relate to the prophecies and predictions that have intrigued humanity for centuries. To help you understand more quickly and easily all these signs, we are facing difficult times where prophecies are being fulfilled, but many do not perceive what is happening around the world. For this reason, I have decided to offer a gift to all channel subscribers, a digital ebook, The Secret. Behind the Holy Bible, so you can download it immediately. It's in the first pinned comment. In this book, I reveal all the secrets of the biblical prophecies that will shock you. Don't waste time. Click on the first pinned comment because we have only a few units available and it will soon be taken down. The next prediction involves growing concern over a possible nuclear attack from North Korea on the United States and its allies. The U.S. government has already sternly warned North Korea, stating that any attempt at a nuclear attack will result in devastating consequences, including the downfall of Kim Jong-un. Amidst these tensions, discussions on nuclear deterrence are ongoing as part of an agreement to share more strategic information among the involved nations, aiming to effectively respond to any aggression from North Korea. What is truly shocking is the fact that Pyongyang has developed and tested various ballistic missiles capable of reaching targets in South Korea, Japan, and even the continental U.S. Moving forward, conflicts between Israel and Hamas continue to escalate. The war, which began in October, shows no signs of abating. Israel faces persistent challenges, and a resolution is still distant. Unlike many countries at war, Israeli officials have not set deadlines and have warned of a prolonged conflict that could extend throughout 2024 and beyond. Prime Minister Netanyahu declared on October 7th that the objective is to completely dismantle Hamas, a goal considered by many analysts as ambitious and nearly impossible to achieve. Hamas's influence extends beyond Gaza, making this goal even more challenging for Israel. This year, the war could escalate further, resulting in numerous casualties on both sides. The next prediction is alarming, with potential global consequences. The invasion of Ukraine by Russia, which began in February 2022, is described as the most dangerous crisis in Europe since the end of World War I. Both sides have suffered devastating losses of military personnel. The Kremlin has bombed cities across Ukraine with missile attacks, while Ukraine struggles to regain lost territories and maintain a counteroffensive. Tired of the conflict and with resistance growing in Washington for open financial support, Putin may view the war in Gaza as an opportunity to gain an advantage. Last fall, he withdrew Russia from the global treaty banning nuclear tests, raising concerns among Western experts that Putin may be nearing a nuclear test to incite fear. In late 2023 and early 2024, Russia intensified its bombings in two of the most brutal attacks since the start of the war. A Russian missile even entered the airspace of a NATO member, Poland, increasing the risk that the military alliance may be forced to retaliate. Now, when it comes to predictions, Nostradamus is a quite famous name. However, few know that Nostradamus secretly read the Bible. Born in the 16th century, Michel de Nostradamus shared his vision of the future in his 1555 book, Les Prophéties, predicting events like the Great Flood of London, the rise of Hitler, and the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Nostradamus's predictions about the future often use biblical language, especially about the end of the world. However, the predictions I have mentioned are not mine. All come from the Bible, each pointing to the coming of Jesus in wrath to establish his great kingdom on earth and judge the world with justice. Concerned about the powerful Catholic Church that saw his astrological work as wrong, Les Prophéties was written in a mixture of Latin, Italian, Greek, and Provençal to hide its true meaning. Some people who believe in Nostradamus say that his predictions correctly predicted different world events, including natural disasters, bad things that people have done, and the deaths of important people throughout history, even though his writings are not very clear and can be interpreted in different ways. Did you know that some think he predicted this year's earthquake in Japan with lines like the dry land will become more dried out and there will be big floods? It made people think about the credibility of his predictions. He also mentioned that 2024 would have a great hunger through a harmful wave, which believers interpret as meaning an earthquake. Before continuing the video, an important message. Don't forget to get your copy of our book. It's in the first pinned comment of this video. Now, there is a shocking prediction related to the royal family as well. In a surprising revelation for the British royal family and the public, it is believed that Nostradamus predicted that Prince Harry will become the monarch after King Charles i.e., according to media reports. How can this be, when there is Prince William? This unexpected claim comes from author Mario Reading, who in his 2005 book titled Nostradamus, The Complete Prophecies for the Future suggests that King Charles II will abdicate the throne, paving the way for Prince Harry's ascent. Reading also claimed that Nostradamus predicted the death of Queen Elizabeth i.e. in 2022. According to Reading, this prophecy, written in the mystic's poem book 450 years ago, foresaw King Charles i.e. taking the throne in 2022 at 74 years old. Reading speculates that public dissatisfaction due to Charles's actions regarding Lady Diana and his eventual divorce influenced the predicted monarch change. Nostradamus's prophecy suggests the unexpected rise of a man other than Prince William, indicating that Prince Harry would assume the throne as King Henry, at 38 years old. Did you know that Nostradamus predicted the death of a pope in 2024? There is speculation that Pope Francis may soon be replaced, as indicated by the astrologer's predictions. In the words of the astrologer, by the death of a very old pontiff, a Roman of good age will be elected. It will be said of him that he weakens his see, but he will sit for a long time. Currently at 87 years old, Pope Francis has faced health challenges and recently had to miss the UN climate conference due to lung inflammation and respiratory problems. This raises questions about whether he may consider resigning from his responsibilities or face more serious circumstances. However, there are more shocking things that could come to pass this year, and one of them is destructive earthquakes around the world. In Revelation 11:13, it was predicted, "And at that hour there was a great earthquake, and 1/10 of the city fell. 7,000 people were killed in the earthquake, and the rest were terrified and gave glory to the God of heaven." Matthew 24:7 says, "For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places." But all these things are just the beginning of birth pains. So, what about famines and earthquakes? There is no doubt that there were earthquakes and famines in the first century and in all generations since then. It is almost unnecessary to add that not only false Christs and false prophets, wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes, and famines occur in all ages throughout the history of the church, but also all persecutions and defections. But what does it mean when Jesus says that the earthquake will happen in various places? In many places means that the disasters in question will be widespread. According to Robert, the placement of famines before earthquakes may indicate that famines result from the devastations of the war mentioned earlier. The wars that are to come will bring with them great amounts of destruction and devastation, with famines coming along with them. If we follow the order of Revelation, then it is clear that famine is a result of war, as is generally the case. Predictably, the preterists believed that Christ's famine prophecy was somehow fulfilled in AD 70, when the Romans destroyed the temple in Jerusalem. As we can see, the year 2024 will be much worse, and the Third World War is quite imminent. It seems that we are in the end times, and there is no other sensible explanation for the current situation. The Apostle John had a vision of what the end times would be like, especially the last 7 years before Christ's return. In chapter 6 of Revelation, he documented what he saw about the future, and war is a significant part of these events until Christ's return. I strongly encourage everyone to genuinely believe in Jesus Christ, to turn away from their sins, so that when he returns to rule, they are well prepared. As we approach the last days, we observe a worsening in moral decay and changes in social values. We notice a troubling increase in betrayal and disloyalty behaviors among people, and in many families, conflicts between parents and children have reached alarming levels, even reaching violence. Moreover, we perceive a deterioration in the integrity of many rulers who seem to treat human life without due value. These leaders are more concerned with accumulating wealth and power for themselves than properly serving the communities they should protect and strengthen. This scenario reveals a growing disrespect for the ethical and moral principles that sustain a just and balanced society. Selfishness also becomes increasingly evident in people's daily behavior. Many are focused only on satisfying their own needs and desires, without considering the impact of their actions on others. This individualistic attitude has negative repercussions in various areas of social life, including family and marital relationships, where true companionship often lacks as each party is concerned only with their own interests. Even in the spiritual and religious sphere, where one would expect to find examples of altruism and dedication to others, we perceive a disturbing trend. Some religious leaders seem to seek more attention for themselves than for the dissemination of the messages and values they should promote. This distorts the original purpose of their roles, which is to guide and inspire their communities through faith. These behaviors indicate a moral crisis that needs to be addressed, reinforcing the importance of values such as integrity, mutual respect, and solidarity to rebuild the social fabric and restore trust in institutions. Therefore, in the coming months, it is essential to dedicate time and effort to strengthen our relationship with God. Often, we run the risk of letting our own desires and wishes occupy a space in our lives that should be reserved for the Lord. When we allow this to happen, we can deviate from the path that God planned for us. It is important to remain humble and always seek divine guidance so that we can live according to the values and principles that bring us closer to God. Furthermore, it is essential to be honest with those close to us, such as our spouse, our family, and our brothers and sisters in Christ. Reflecting on the sins we may be hiding from these people is an important step towards true spiritual transformation. Hiding our mistakes and flaws may seem easier in the short term, but this lack of transparency can corrode our relationships and our own spiritual well-being. Therefore, it is crucial to abandon these sins as soon as possible. Seek forgiveness and reconciliation. We must remember that living a double life has severe consequences. Sin is deceitful. It can seduce us with the promise of freedom, but in reality, it imprisons us in invisible chains of guilt and pain. Challenges and temptations only increase, and we need to be constantly vigilant and committed to a lifestyle that honors God and reflects His truth, avoiding temptations that lead us away from the path of righteousness. In today's times, we are witnessing many changes in the world, including greater connection between different countries and cultures, thanks to technological advances. However, at the same time, there is a decrease in faith and Christian values that many people faithfully followed. These events are important signs indicating that we are approaching the end times, as mentioned in the Scriptures. This period will be marked by the return of Jesus Christ, who will come to gather those who have lived according to His teachings and followed His commandments. We are living in challenging times where prophecies are being fulfilled before our eyes, but many still do not perceive the magnitude of the events unfolding around the world. That is why I have decided to offer a special gift to all channel subscribers, a digital ebook titled The Secret Behind the Holy Bible, available for immediate download. You can find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. In this ebook, I deeply reveal the secrets behind the biblical prophecies that will surely surprise you and make you reflect on current events in the light of Scriptures. Do not waste time, as we have only a few units available and access will soon be limited. Click now on the first pinned comment to secure your digital copy. To conclude this video, I would like to share a message from Jesus Christ to all His disciples. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. May this true peace, which comes only from God, dwell in your heart and guide your steps amidst the uncertainties of the world. If this message resonated with you, do not hesitate to share it with your friends and family. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing for more inspiring and reflective content. May God richly bless you. We will meet again in the next video. A big hug. Those who choose to ignore these teachings and live contrary to them, engaging in actions considered sinful, will face judgment. It is a time to reflect on how we are living our lives and what choices we are making. It is important to understand that God did not send this message today with the intention of scaring you or leaving you terrified of the future. The true reason you receive this message is to encourage you to take a firm and confident stand in the face of situations that are already happening around you. God wants you to be prepared and strong, not fearful or insecure. He wants you to face challenges with courage and maintain faith, knowing that you are not alone in this journey.